So, I've never made a video like this, but I just feel like I want to just be a little bit open and honest. Um, so, I just got let go from my job today. And speaking of which, this is like my work look. Anyone who's ever seen me and know is not used to this. Hold on. That's not exactly it, but, you know, it's closer, probably close enough. So, I haven't been very, I don't know, this is probably going to go to my, Discord server. I haven't really been active there at all. People who only, talk to me through there also probably have no idea what's going on in my life. But, yeah, if I can even upload this video and not feel embarrassed for stumbling over everything, but, so, around the time that I left my first job, I think that was probably the last kind of, life thing I ever talked about in my Discord server. And things have been very difficult since then. So first of all, the job that I got, I thought it was going to be a bakery job. It was not. It was actually a restaurant type job. And, well, that wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but I thought, why not? You know, I'll still take it up because it's still, experience. I like trying new things, and, I mean, even though I was let go, I mean, I'm still grateful that I had the experience. It was very eye-opening. But things in that job were very stressful. It was kind of hard at times. I know, I've gotten, my fair share of, cuts and injuries and stuff, oddly enough, not from, using any, sharp equipment like knives or stuff, stuff you typically use in a kitchen. I did get one cut from a knife, though. I believe it's on this finger, but that's kind of besides the point. But I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling, but yeah, working in a restaurant job, it's a very stressful environment. And I know I was getting I don't know, everything just kind of kept building up, all the stress of, just working. I was working a lot of hours at one point, and sorry, this is just kind of hard, for me to talk about right now, but it's, it all just kind of kept building up, and, I don't know, freaking everything sort of like climaxed one day when I had a mental breakdown on the job. It was so busy. There was like some like people like picking up food outside. They were getting like, they're getting kind of loud. They're kind of yelling and stuff. It was just a very stressful night. It was very busy. To be honest, the person I was working with, because I was working at an expediter at the time, and it was like my second day, and the first day was already pretty stressful. I even injured my elbow pretty badly on the job like the day before. It's kind of like, I don't know if that's gonna leave like a long-lasting scar or not, but yeah, so that night was stressful. The person I was working with was also kind of stressing me out, I'm not gonna lie. But then that second night of working as an expediter, everything just kind of, I don't know, like, everything just started, like, rushing in my head. I was told to go sit down, and I sat down, but before I knew it, like, I don't know, I just kind of remember feeling vaguely like I wanted nothing more than to just, like, lie down on the floor. And, like, before I knew it, I was down on the floor. Everyone was, like, rushing towards me and, like, you know, helping me up and stuff. And when I sat back down on the chair that I was sitting on, I was basically just, I don't know, I was just hyperventilating. I was crying uncontrollably because everything has been just so stressful, and not just at work, but like everywhere. I feel like I've never had a true, like, sense of home in my life. Pretty much everyone that talks to me, like, knows that my mother was not great. I was kept very isolated, and my mom was very controlling. It was tough, but luckily, I mean, what I did online was pretty much never monitored, so I was able to make friends online, and that's basically where 98% of my friends are, over online. And when I had turned 18, I had moved out, but not in a very traditional sense, because I basically had to run away. And it is very hard. It's not an easy thing to do, regardless if you're getting out of, like, a toxic environment. I'm at the park, by the way. Sorry, this is just where I am right now to just kind of, like, help with recording and whatnot. So if you hear, like, screams or you know children, like, that's why. It's because I'm at a park. I've tried to stay in like a sweet spot though where there isn't much noise. But regardless, so yeah, it's not an easy thing to deal with. It is extremely stressful having to pack everything in one night and just hope to God that your mother doesn't like see you and see what you're doing, because otherwise, like, fuck, for all I know, like, what I've seen previously, like, I have no idea what could have happened. Like, for all I knew in my mind, like, I could have died that night. It... I don't know. But yeah, so I met someone, through online schooling, because I was going to online school, because, like, for high school, I was never in an actual high school, so I was going to an online school, and, we had to meet in person for, like, at least, 2 hours, once a week, and through, going there in person, I met someone, they offered me the chance to be able to move out, and live with them, and I took it, because, I had to get out of there, as soon as I could, and this seemed like the best way, because I didn't have anyone else in, Vancouver, Washington, because that's where I was living. I didn't have anyone who was, able to house me, basically, and to be able to, go through with, a plan and stuff for, running away, and I thought, as well, it could be beneficial, maybe, if I, moved in with them, instead of, I don't know, moving somewhere, out of state, and being able to, continue, with schooling and whatnot. That fell through anyway, but that's besides the point. I moved in with them, and that didn't work out. So I had to... Actually, no, I'm going to rewind a bit. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. So, even there, it was it felt kind of stressful, because it kind of felt like... I don't know how to describe it. It's they also kind of felt kind of controlling. They wanted me to, I don't know, go to sleep at a certain time, not be awake, because the way I lived growing up with my mother, eventually I just started sleeping during the day and being awake during the night, because, my mom's awake during the day and is mostly asleep at night. And that's kind of how I grew up, and that's kind of how I've adopted, a night owl, sort of lifestyle. I mean, I guess I am like a true night owl at heart. I feel like more productive and everything at night, but it felt like they also didn't trust me. It felt like, I don't know, it just wasn't comfortable there either. And, well, I had to move in with my oldest sibling in Portland, Oregon. Which has been very scary in its own right. I don't know. Well, I've never lived somewhere where I feel fully comfortable with where I am or my situation, and that's something that's only been really hitting me a lot recently. It's one of those things, I never really thought about it, but when I look back on it, I'm just like, it's kind of depressing. And I don't know, living with my mom, we also moved around, a bit. We still stayed in, like, Vancouver, Washington, but, I mean, I was born in Hilo, Hawaii, and lived in Hawaii for, like, until I was, like, about 6, maybe, and then that's when we moved to Vancouver, Washington, and I lived there until I was, like, 18, so I still spent, like, most of my life in Vancouver, Washington, and it's, I don't know, I remember also developing social anxiety, which still affects me to this day. I mean, it's not exactly social anxiety, because I'm diagnosed with selective mutism, which is basically, if you don't know what it is, it's basically, around some people I get the full-blown effects of social anxiety, and around others I don't, and I don't have any control over that. It's completely random. It's out of my hands. And it's, I feel like, weirdly enough, I just thought about this, like, today, but I think it affects me more online now, more than it does, in person. I feel like I have an easier time talking to people in person than I do online, and that might be because I feel a bit more like long-lasting trauma from talking to people online. I don't know, because ever since I was little, I just wanted to, make people happy, have laughs, have good times, and stuff. And the vibe I got from a lot of people whenever I was talking, I was a very hyperactive child, and I still do have, like, a lot of energy a lot of the time, very, like, energetic, I guess, a lot of the time, but the thought that like, the vibe I got from a lot of people talking around them and to them, like, way back in the days, that I mostly upset them and did not like, and people did not like me. So I kind of became really reserved. And the reason why I say it affects me more online, weirdly enough, is because, I stayed very isolated as a kid. I was never really allowed outside of my house besides going to school, and you can't really meet a lot of people that way. And so I played a lot of games online. Like, I remember way back in the day, like, having my own Steam account and playing stuff like Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. So that was, like, I remember signing up with a bundle. You get, like, Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, Half-Life 2 Lost Coast, and, like, for free. And there's also, like, the demo of Portal, which was weird, but I think I like that kind of, I don't know, I talked to a lot of people, but I especially also really loved playing, like, Zombie Master. That was, like, that's not on Steam anymore, but that was a really, really fun game to play. Like, it was to me when I was a kid, and it still is to me now when I played, like, Zombie Master Reborn with one of my friends, like, earlier in, like, 2020, I think. But I maybe shouldn't have been allowed to have a microphone when I was a kid, or any access to that type of stuff, but at the same time, I'm kind of grateful because it did teach me quite a lot, but I let a lot of people kind of screw with me, I guess. To be honest, I was a pretty dumb child. I was pretty gullible. Part of that may be because, like, I don't know, wanting to see the best in people. I have no idea. I'm not sure if I could definitively say, but I don't know, like, I remember people telling me to, like, freaking basically just turn off my PC, and I would do it. People would be, I don't know, it made me kind of aware and scared of, like, the stipulation of, like, squeakers online and stuff like that, like kids with microphones. I don't remember exactly when it happened, but at some point I just stopped using my microphone altogether, because I knew that if I used it, people would know that I was a kid and I would be ridiculed for it. And, I didn't want to be ridiculed or anything. I just wanted to hang out, play games, have a good time. And it made me move to only using, like, text messages and only typing in games. And I will say that I think that at least has helped me develop and maintain, like, a sense of, like, good grammar, except for, you know, the freaking capitalization of the first letter of every word, because that was, like, an OCD tick thing, and, yeah, I'm diagnosed with OCD, too, and it's just one of my things that I do, but, because I do like to use as proper grammar as possible, but that has affected me quite a bit. But I always thought in my mind it was like, okay, well, once I turn 18, I'll be technically an adult, and I can go on lobbies and stuff and use my microphone and not be judged. And sometimes that might be true, but it's then, like, if I'm talking to people over Discord or something, like, sometimes maybe it's easier for me to talk like that, but even when I go on VR chat, I've been playing a lot of VR chat, like for the past few weeks. When I go on VR chat, people try to talk to me and stuff. It's still really hard to immediately open up to people, and I don't know why. Something tells me that it's because it's in a game like setting, and that kind of like triggers some sort of like reaction internally, because I was always scared of using my microphones on games like that, and I still don't like to use my microphone when I'm playing games online. But yeah. So that's that. But I'm still very grateful for all the friends that I've made. Even if, you know, I might have lost some friends along the way. But some of my really close friends. But I still adamantly believe that the friends that I've made are the only reason that I'm still alive to this day. And I have to continue to be grateful for everything. And I've made my fair share of mistakes, and I'm not happy with the way certain things have turned out, but at the same time, all I can really do at this point is to try and get better from it. And that's what I'm gonna continue to strive to do. You know, as long as I live, you know, continue to get better, all that. Learn from any mistakes you made. And yeah. But back to okay, But going back to work, so my first job was with Habitat for Humanity, and that was really great first job experience. I loved everyone there. They all loved me. I loved just being there. Being able to like work there is pretty great. But yeah, I had to move on because I wasn't technically like working under them. I was being paid by a third party because it was basically like paid job experience, which made things better for them because they especially like that because they got to have me work and have me around and they didn't have to pay me. That was great and all, but yeah, eventually, times with that, your time with that stuff eventually has to come to an end, and they still weren't hiring associates, like, by the time that was at an end, so they couldn't hire me, unfortunately. But yeah, then I got contacted for this second job. I was told it was going to be under a place. I thought it was going to be a bakery job, like I said, but it was not. It was a restaurant job, and yeah, but again, I was just like, you know what, it's still like a new job, something new. I like trying new things, getting the experience, all that. So yeah, and then I don't remember exactly how long it's been, but yeah, I just wasn't able to keep up with their expectations of speed, because that's the thing about me. I like to take my time with things. I'm a very slow and methodical type of person, and I'm very also detail oriented, and the restaurant job was just not the best fit, I guess. I feel like when I was let off, there was a lot of I feel like, some people there really loved that I took my time and made sure I'd got everything done accurately, precisely, and correct, but then there is still that expectation of being able to be fast as well. Probably fast and being able to do that. I can't do both. I have to do one or the other, basically, and my instincts kind of also hold me back from just doing stuff fast without being perfect. But during my final days there, that was kind of the message that was trying to be put across as well. Just you gotta move fast, you gotta go quick, come on, let's bust out the hustle. And I always hated being told that. And every time, eventually, every time they said that to me, said anything like that to me, it almost kind of like brought back memories of being in school and just falling behind. And because I remember I was held back in the 4th grade, and like that, I don't know. I mean, most of that was just because, you know, growing up with my mom and stuff, I've grown up to be very stubborn and stuff. And I got placed with the worst teacher in the school for 4th grade, who was probably even the worst teacher in the entire school. But I remember at some point I started falling behind in school. I can't remember, like, I don't know. I think it was mostly just math, to be honest. I've always struggled with math. It always took me, like, a very long time to do math, even, like, more basic questions, because I like to basically, you know, make sure that it's correct before I even, like, blurt out an answer or something, like, you know, double check it, triple check it, you know, etc. Like, do the math very slowly instead of quickly. And yeah, I don't know. I remember always, as well, like, hating, because I also write very slowly. Like, whenever there's an assignment or something, like, you know, write down what's up on the board or whatever. When they were doing, like, a projector, I would always, like, try to write it down, and it's like, alright, moving on, and I have to be the one person that's like, oh wait, I didn't write that down, can you go back, or something. Sometimes it didn't happen, and I just had an incompleted book, or whatever, and it was just... Then there was also, like, I forget what it was. It was, like, one of, like, the high school tests or something, like... It took so long to do it that basically the school day ended, they had to close the school. I was basically told, alright, well, you know, just click random answers. And I remember being told, like, well, the score you score on this test... Fuck, I dropped my hat. I said, well, the score you score on this test doesn't even matter anyway. And it's just like, okay, well, this is absolutely pointless then. But I don't know. So, I also realized, that, my phone, cut off the recording there, because it's getting too long. So, I was like, alright, well, I guess that's the time to start, like, walking back, to my place of current residence, I guess. But, just another quick thing that I guess I wanted to add, because I know, I mean, some people might be like, oh, well, you lost your job, that's, big deal, that happens, so, like, what's going on with that, like, why is that such a big deal? Well, typically it wouldn't, but I'm kind of in a desperate spot for money at this point, because I need to move out, and I'm going to move out with a friend that I have in Oklahoma soon, hopefully. I remember telling people at my work that, well, this is going to happen soon, so I'm going to have to, I'll let you know whenever I have dates for when this is going to happen. And I still don't have any dates. I have no idea when that's going to happen. I am in no position to be moving out by myself right now here in, Portland. Cost of living is so high over here. And we have, me and my friend have, funds saved up. But I was only able to get into my first job because, it was with the program that I was with. They said, you know what, we'll hook you up. And then with the second job, it was kind of like the same thing. It was kind of like a referral. It was like, okay, well, he did really good here, here he is, whatnot. I got a referral from, the program I was with, as well as the people that I was working with on the job itself. And I've never applied. I have before once, but I don't know. I don't want to get a job if I'm going to also be moving so soon. Like, how am I going to find a job that way? It's like, alright, well, here I am, I could do this, and that, but, also I'm leaving in like 6 days, or, however many. I don't know when it's gonna happen, and I can't freaking, I'm tight on money right now. I need to get like 2 more checks from where I was just working, because the last one that I put in was just taken back out. For some reason, unbeknownst to me, like, I have no idea why that happened, but now I was also charged like $12. My bank account's in the negative. These 2 checks I'm gonna estimate are probably gonna be just enough to cover my rent for where I'm living on the first, which then my bank account will be empty. And I'm not going to have any money after that, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, but I have to keep, I have to, try to keep thinking positively. I'll have to, I don't know. Alright, I mean, that's basically all I wanted to add.